Hello students, today we are going to use real earth clay to make a turtle. And if you remember, there's some important things to do in order to get all of your turtle parts. The first thing is to split your clay evenly in half. And I just used a paper clip to kind of slice it, or you can pull it apart with your hands. With your first half, that is going to be your pinch pot shell. So I'm using my fingers to push in any protruding parts and get it all into a sphere. I'm also using my palms to roll it into a sphere, and I'm using my fingers to really smooth out that sphere. That'll give me a smooth surface to start with. Clay loves to be condensed, so compacting the clay into a sphere is great. You plunge your thumb into the center, and then you use both hands to slowly rotate and thin the walls of your sphere until they become a ball. As you go, you can hold the walls between the fingers on one hand and smooth the top with the other hand. If you're using some moisture from the cup on your table, just use a little. So make sure that your walls are even all the way around the top, bottom, and sides. Make sure your outside is smooth and round. And make sure the lips or the edge of your bowl are very smooth and not cracked. And you do this by using your hands to smooth and squeeze your clay. So notice I'm holding the clay between the fingers on one hand while I smooth with my thumb and fingers on the other hand. This all makes it a very strong shell for your turtle. Take your time to move from the sphere into a bowl shape. This happened very slowly. Nothing happened too quickly. And then set it aside. The rest of your clay will also be evenly split into parts. So I'm kind of rolling it into a pill shape. And I'm going to pinch off just a little bit for the head and a little bit more for a tail. And then to make sure that my other body parts are similar in size, I can start to split my clay in half. So I went ahead and worked those into nice little sphere shapes too. Whenever you're using clay, it's always a good idea to start with a sphere. So now I'm cutting the rest in half, and then I will cut those pieces in half as well. This will give me 4 equally sized feet for my turtle. I can go ahead and work those into sphere shapes as well. This makes them smooth and even and ready to be formed into a slightly different natural shape. All right. So now it's time to get ready to attach clay. You can't just push clay onto other clay and expect it to stay connected through the drying and the firing process. Instead, you have to kind of get it ready. For my turtle shell, I have made kind of a little area, and I've formed my head into something more of a teardrop. Notice I'm pulling on it to make a nice smooth teardrop shape. And to attach the clay, I'm using a toothbrush to kind of score or cut up the clay. I'm going to do both sides just like Velcro, getting them super moist and textured. And then I'm going to press those two pieces together pretty firm. Then I'm going to use my hands to smooth those two pieces together so you almost can't see where they were originally separated. You can use a tool, you can use the end of the toothbrush, you can use your fingers. Just make sure that you do a lot of smoothing, but carefully so you don't squish everything. And you can always use a paperclip tool to make it look like it was a separate piece as well. So work on forming your turtle head to look like you think a turtle head should look. You can make a sea turtle or a land tortoise or anything from the turtle family, the Terrapin family. Here I am working on the tail. I've made it a little bit skinnier by pulling on that clay. I toothbrushed both sides, and now I can smooth it into place under the shell. All of these turtle parts will come out from under the shell. And now I can do each of those same things to the 4 feet. Make sure you take a look at your terrapin from above to make sure you like where those feet are coming out. One leg would come out approximately symmetrical from the other leg. I'm using a tool to smooth. I'm taking my time to make sure those 2 pieces of clay are firmly attached. I think at this point I'm wishing that I had left my pinch pot a little bit thicker so that when I'm smushing the pieces on, it wouldn't get too skinny. So make sure you do not make your shell too thin. Leave it thick so that there's the chance of smushing clay a little bit more to get it attached. I repeated the process with the other legs, and you can see that it kind of stands up once those 4 legs are the same size and they're nicely attached. And you see your turtle will be hollow from underneath. This allows it to cook evenly in the kiln. So everything we're doing with this turtle means that it'll cook really nicely in the kiln. It'll stay attached, and it will be kind of a symmetrical, even animal. So I've been working on the shell to add some texture, to add hexagonal shapes, 6-sided shapes. You can add texture to the legs and the head, and the tail. I'm using the tip of my paper clip for that. And then you can see the finished product. This is ready to go in the kiln.